Look at someone's eyes, right now. You instantly know if they're bored, curious, or watching you back. You got all of that in half a second, without a word. No other animal on Earth can do what you just did. And the reason is a biological glitch most people never notice. The white part of your eye, that thin band of bright white surrounding your colored iris. Every other primate on the planet has dark eyes, hidden eyes, eyes that reveal almost nothing. But your eyes are almost entirely white, and that is not an accident. That is one of the most important evolutionary choices in the entire history of your species. Here is what your biology teacher probably never told you. The white of your eye, called the sclera, is exposed. Dramatically, unusually, almost recklessly exposed. In a chimpanzee, the sclera is dark brown, nearly identical in color to the iris. In a gorilla, same thing. In an orangutan, a baboon, a gibbon, virtually every other primate alive today, the sclera is hidden, pigmented, invisible at a distance. Their eyes look like single dark orbs. You cannot tell where they are looking without watching their whole head move. Your eyes are completely different. Your sclera is not only white, it is large. The exposed white area of the human eye is roughly 3 times bigger, proportionally, than in any other primate. Which means when your eye moves even slightly, anyone nearby can see exactly where your gaze is directed, right down to the millimeter. Ask yourself why evolution would do that. Because evolution does not make mistakes, it keeps for millions of years. If your bright, exposed, gaze-revealing eyes were a disadvantage, natural selection would have eliminated them long ago. The species with hidden eyes would have survived better. But it did not happen that way. You are here, with these conspicuous white eyes, and every chimpanzee in the forest still has dark ones. So what did your white eyes give you that was worth the cost? Researchers once wanted to find out if apes could read minds. What they found changed everything. They showed human babies and chimpanzees an adult who looked upward and tracked what happened next. The chimpanzees followed the direction of the adult's head. The human infants followed the direction of the adult's eyes, even when the head stayed perfectly still. This led to a radical idea. Michael Tomasello at the Max Planck Institute called it the Cooperative Eye Hypothesis. The human eye, he argued, evolved to be readable on purpose. Not by accident, not as a side effect of some other change, but because being readable made you more effective as a social creature. It let you share attention with others. It let you coordinate without speaking. It let you, at the most fundamental level, understand what another mind was focused on. Think about what that actually means. Before language, before writing, before tools and fire and agriculture, there was a group of early humans standing in a landscape full of threats and opportunities. And one of them saw something. A predator moving through the grass. A fruit-heavy tree on the hillside. A rival group approaching from the east. That person did not need to shout. Did not need to point. They only needed to look. And the people around them, with their wide, white-framed eyes, could follow that gaze in an instant. Could see exactly what had captured that attention. Could react together as one coordinated unit, faster than any other species on Earth. Your white eyes were a communication technology before language existed. But there is a darker side to this story. When evolution makes you readable, it also makes you vulnerable. Your eyes reveal your intentions, your attention, your fear, your desire. Any predator or rival who could read your eyes gained an advantage over you. And for millions of years, the rest of the animal kingdom kept their eyes dark precisely to avoid this problem. Deception, in nature, is survival. You do not want prey to know you have spotted them. You do not want a rival to know you are afraid. Your ancestors made the opposite bet. They traded concealment for connection, and the bet paid off in ways that changed the entire trajectory of human civilization. Researcher Hiromi Kobayashi confirmed this in a study alongside Tomasello's work. Humans are unique in the animal kingdom in having sclera that is both white and dramatically exposed. Not just slightly more visible than other primates, but categorically different. The ratio of exposed white to colored iris in the human eye is found nowhere else in the evolutionary record. In the world of biology, this is a total freak accident. A deliberate departure from the pattern that held steady for tens of millions of years of primate evolution. Something made your ancestors different, and that something appears to have been each other. Wait, think about how dangerous that actually is. Every other creature on Earth evolved to hide its attention, to mask where it was looking, to keep its intentions concealed. And your ancestors went in the exact opposite direction. They became more visible, more readable, more exposed, at a time when the world was full of predators, rivals, and genuine existential threats. They evolved eyes that broadcast their every thought. Why would that ever work? Here is what the fossil record and evolutionary biology suggest happened. Early human societies became unusually cooperative, unusually dependent on group behavior, on shared goals, on collective intelligence. As that cooperation deepened, the ability to track what others were attending to became more and more valuable. Individuals who could read group attention more accurately survived better, reproduced more, and passed on their genes. Over hundreds of thousands of years, small changes in eye structure accumulated. The sclera grew lighter. The exposed area grew larger. The pupil became easier to track against a bright white background. You became more readable, and being more readable made you more connected, and being more connected made you more powerful. By the time modern humans appeared, somewhere around 300,000 years ago, the human eye had become something unprecedented in nature. A precision social instrument, a broadcasting device for attention and intention. Something that let a child follow an adult's gaze to understand a shared world. Something that let hunters coordinate without sound. Something that let people build the trust required for trade, for alliances, for the complex social architectures that eventually became villages, cities, civilizations. All of it starts with the white of your eye. But the story does not stop in the prehistoric past, because your readable eyes are doing something profound right now, in every conversation you have, in every room you walk into, in every face you see. Here is a test. Look at the next set of eyes you encounter. Just the eyes. No face, no body, no context. Only the eyes. Psychologist Simon Baron-Cohen at Cambridge University ran exactly this experiment. He showed people photographs of nothing but the eye region and asked them to identify the emotion being expressed. And people were uncannily accurate. Sadness, curiosity, suspicion, desire, detected from a sliver of face in under a second. The human brain has developed specialized neural machinery for reading eyes, a capacity so refined and so fast that it operates almost entirely below conscious awareness. When you look at someone, your brain is running a parallel processing system dedicated to their eyes, tracking pupil direction, registering dilation, noting the micro-expressions around the orbit, comparing all of it to a vast internal library of gaze patterns and their social meanings. You are doing this right now, in every interaction, without trying, without knowing. That machinery exists because you have white eyes. Because your white eyes made gaze reading possible. Because gaze reading made cooperation possible. Because cooperation made everything else possible. There is also something worth sitting with here. The same feature that lets you connect also makes you transparent. You have almost no capacity to hide where your attention truly lies. Your eyes betray your curiosity, your boredom, your desire, your fear, in real time to anyone who knows how to look. Every person you have ever trusted, every negotiation you have ever entered, every moment you tried to appear more confident than you felt, your eyes were telling a parallel story. A true one. Every other primate gets to keep that story private. You never did. And yet somehow, your species chose this. The evolutionary pressure was enormous, sustained, and unmistakable. The genes that produced readable eyes kept winning. Generation after generation, across hundreds of thousands of years, the humans with more visible white sclera were apparently more successful, more connected, more trusted, more likely to survive and to have children who survived. Connection was worth more than concealment. Every single time. So the next time you look into someone's eyes and instantly know where their mind is, know that you are using a piece of technology millions of years in the making. A tiny biological adaptation that set your species apart from every other animal on the planet. a decision encoded in your DNA long before your ancestors had words to explain it or the ability to understand what it was giving them. They just looked at each other, and in doing so, they could finally see. Just like you, right now, looking at someone who is looking right back. Both of you reading each other without a single word. Doing in half a second what no other creature on Earth has ever been able to do. Not because you learned it, because evolution built it into the white of your eye a long time before you ever existed.